got Steph calling in from Texas. A lot of Texas calls tonight. What's going on, Steph?
Yes.
Not too much. How about you both?
I'm doing just fine. Having a good time.
Good.
Glad to hear it.
Yeah, so what did you want to talk to us tonight about, Steph?
I was curious of what both of your opinions are on granting moral considerability to non-humans or non-human entities.
Yeah, so I'll go first on this, Jenna, and then I'll let you chime in on your thoughts. So I was talking with the crew about this. I've kind of gone vegetarian this week a little bit. When I went to the store, I was like, I'm just going to buy all fruits and vegetables and no meats here and see if I can even do this, because kind of going that route has been a consideration for me for a while. And so far, I've only been doing it for a few days, but I'm doing okay. Like I'm getting my protein from some other sources and stuff. People always ask me how I'm getting my protein, but I feel like it's something I can do. So I have been considering the vegetarian vegan route because I get more and more convinced every day, Steph, of the ethical arguments a lot of these advocates for vegetarianism and veganism have. Whereas, the lines that we draw when we consider other beings is kind of arbitrary. It's hard to, draw the line with morals, because most of you would have a problem with me killing your dog, but you wouldn't have a problem with me killing a chicken. Well, what's the difference there? Well, we might think of dogs as more conscious beings, but we also see other animals that are super conscious and definitely have, feelings and emotions, at least they look like that we do, right? Like cows are always the example that are brought into this. So we do kind of have these cultural assumptions that go into what's taboo and what's not for what we should eat. I do think it's a bit arbitrary. So I'm leaning more towards this idea that, might as well just don't have the conflict and not eat animals at all. That's where I'm at right now. At least leaning towards that way, much to the chagrin of some other people in the atheist community of Austin who are tired of having arguments about vegetarianism and veganism. I don't really mind it, but I'm kind of leaning towards that way, that the moral arguments we have for treating other beings differently is getting a bit arbitrary and should be examined. But I don't know. I honestly don't know your thoughts on this, Jenna, so I'm curious to hear what you have to say.
So basically the question is, do non-human things have morals? Am I understanding that right?
I think it's how do we have a moral obligation to treat other biological entities the same or differently than we do with people, right? Right, Steph, would you say that's accurate?
Yeah, that's a good way to look at the vegetarian or the veganism argument. Is should we consider other animals having some moral weight to their existence?
Right.
If we were to put in front of you a human and another human, you would not be able to choose between them. You could maybe justify how, but morally you would be kind of in the gray or having a bad time either way. But if you took an animal and a human, some people might say, oh, we can choose one over the other. But then it becomes a slippery slope, because it comes, what animal do we define as being worth more, having more value than the other?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I guess the way that I think of it is, I have high blood sugar, so I can't go vegan. So I did go vegan for a while, but then I actually ran into health problems. So I do have to eat meat. But I think it's interesting because the reason why humans shouldn't eat other humans is because you're looking out for your own species. And if you look at animals, they do the same thing. I mean, there's some animals that will eat themselves, but those aren't humans. So I guess I don't know. But animals are made cannibalistic. Like nature was designed for us to be able to eat other animals. And I think as long as you the whole natural thing, do you go about it in a respectful to nature way? Because in the same way, you're also using nature whenever you're eating plants. All
right.
And I think
first thing, Jenna, I got to ask you. So you said that you have to eat meat because of your blood sugar levels, right?
Yeah.
If you had some way to supplement your blood sugar levels without eating meat, would you still consider eating meat to be ethically right or wrong? It sounds like it still doesn't matter to you.
I mean, I would do that. I would, if I could be vegan, then I would, not because I disagree with eating meat, but because I disagree with the way meat is processed. I don't think that it's very respectful to the source.
Yeah. That's yeah. Okay. So
yeah,
and also,
and animals would do the same thing. Like a bear would eat me, and I wouldn't say that that's a bad ethical choice for him, because that's what he's designed to do.
I would agree with you there, because like my cat is still gonna eat meat even if I don't, because I know that's what's healthy for a cat. Now that gets really tricky too, because then we are choosing one life over another, right?
Well,
I am choosing.
Would you eat your cat?
Yeah.
You would not eat your cat because you're an American who was raised with the belief that cats are companions and not food. Cats were domesticated in order to fill that role by humans.
Yeah.
But in other cultures, those inhibitions, they will eat animals that are below them on the food chain because they don't have that cultural inhibition the way we do.
Sure, but the point I'm thinking of here, though, right, is like ultimately an animal had to die for my cat's meal. Now, I don't. Well, maybe there are some options with like the I don't know, the regular, like the pebbles and stuff. I don't know what the kibble. That's what I'm thinking of. I don't know.
Yeah.
I know people have kind of looked into that stuff. I haven't looked into too much of that personally. Maybe there is some sort of vegan option for cats. For as far as I know, there isn't. If there was,
because there's an actual vitamin that they need that only comes from the meat. As far as I know.
But one day though, if we could like produce all the required vitamins and minerals in a lab, I think I would get Pico on that diet too, because that way I'm not creating a demand for a product that involves, you know, the unnecessary killing of a life. So yeah, like and I'm gonna keep trying out this thing, Steph. I'm gonna keep seeing where this diet gets me. And see where it goes. But
I can send you recipes because I have lots of vegan recipes that I can't use anymore.
I've teased on this show before. Maybe I'll do it, maybe not. I don't know. I think I've this is the first time where I've actually put it into action here. And like I said, there's some turkey breast in the fridge that I got like a couple weeks ago, but that's like the only meat in this house right now. Everything else
you can give that to Pico.
Yeah, maybe I can give that to Pico. So I'm becoming more convinced of it, Steph. But what's your take on all of it? I have a feeling I know what it is, but I'd like to hear you elucidate on it.
Well, you might be pleasantly surprised to hear my opinion. And it kind of goes back to one thing that you said and a separate thing that Jenna said. So Jenna brought up an example with the bear. If you were in a forest and you encountered a bear, even if you had a moral objection to eating the bear may not have the same feelings for you. And the same thing with the cats. We don't eat the cats it's part of a social construct. We make social contracts with other humans and we say we're not comfortable doing this. And so we are averse to it. But so far with animals, we're not really able to bridge and make that social contract. So it comes down to, if you're looking at consciousness, are you open to treating non-human, non-biological beings or entities with moral consideration? So if you were to encounter a robot or an artificial intelligence, would you treat it more or less the same as a person or a biological entity? Or would you say because it's a constructed thing, or find some other justification for not treating it or assigning it the same moral consideration that we do other people, or with your case, Dan, some animals now?
Yeah, that's great questions too, Steph. I think I'm in the school of thought that AI will become developed enough to where we will treat them as persons. I think that's just a fact.
Yeah.
Because I ultimately think that we as human beings are mechanical in nature, and even my higher order level processing of consciousness is a result of physical processes. In the same way that if you give me a drug that's going to make me fall asleep, that's the result of physical chemical processes. If you say words to me that might hurt my feelings, that's a physical process as well. there's no difference between the two in the sense of it's reactions happening, you know, and it can all be processed in a physical way. So yeah, I'm in that camp as far as, yeah, I think it's going to happen. I don't know if we're there yet, but inevitably, as long as we continue to develop as our technology goes, who knows? We might not even be here this time next year, but hey, one can hope, right? But anyway, Steph, thanks for calling and giving us a great question to talk about, because
really great to think about.
Yeah, give me a chance to talk about my potential vegetarian future. So thanks again. Looking forward to hearing from you soon. Yeah, there you go. Pretty